You're watching Channel 12.
Good evening. Up next on the Nightcast, some more disturbing information about a civil defense siren that didn't work here in Andover on Friday. Also, a police tape released today showing the warning that the residents of the Golden Spur Mobile Home Park here in Andover got shortly before the tornado hit. I'm Bob Keeling. I'll have a live update from Andover.
Also coming up next on the Eyewitness Nightcast, some good news from amidst the tornado rubble, plus other news of the day, including new information linking a recent murder with a killing from years ago.
And the latest on a so far incurable disease, all next on the Nightcast.
This is the Eyewitness News Nightcast with Roger Cornish, Susan Peters, Merril Teller Weather, Bruce Haertl Sports. Now, the area's #1 rated late news.
A killer tornado looms on the horizon as an Andover police car speeds through the Golden Spur Mobile Home Park, trying to sound a warning and get people to take cover. But was it enough? Good evening. I'm Roger Cornish.
And I'm Susan Peters. Thank you for joining us. That Andover police tape released today reportedly proves residents of the Golden Spur Mobile Home Park had what Andover's police chief calls adequate warning. Meanwhile, a man who worked on the city's failed civil defense siren claims he had no experience with that type of equipment when Andover's mayor asked him to work on it. Nightcast reporter Bob Keeling has more on the growing controversy surrounding the warning and the warning siren. Bob.
Well, and right now the relief efforts are pressing on here in Andover with the command center over my shoulder. But as you mentioned, the new information today, that police tape reportedly shows that the residents of the Golden Spur Mobile Home Park were adequately warned, but we'll let people out there decide. Also, we talked to a man who said that he worked on that failed siren 3 years ago, but he said at the time he had no experience with that type of machinery, and now he's afraid that because of that, he may have in some way contributed to that siren failing. An Andover police officer drives through the Golden Spur Mobile Home Park about 7 minutes before the tornado hits. As he drives by residents walking, they aren't told that the tornado's coming, and a nearby civil defense siren has failed. Before Tuesday's city council meeting, we asked if the officer perhaps should have done more. When they were actually driving through the streets, they weren't actually on the loudspeaker. Should they have been? Have you had a chance to review that video yourself?
Why don't you ask the police department when we're all done?
Okay. This siren, a few blocks northwest of the park, was reportedly bought by Finelson at an auction after it had been damaged and another town got rid of it.
Jack Finelson brought it into our shop and said that they had bought it and it had been damaged, had been ran into by a car, the control panel.
Randy Reed says he used to work for Jack Finelson. Reed says his boss ordered he and his supervisor to fix the damaged part of the siren. But now Reed questions if they fixed that siren properly.
Wondering if the same part that me and my supervisor worked on is the reason why the siren didn't go off.
Well, you guys, had you ever worked on any kind of a thing like this before?
No.
Reed says he just wants to know if this civil defense siren got any kind of professional attention since he worked on it 3 years ago. He says until he finds out, this system's failure Friday night remains on his conscience.
Is there anything else that those in the audience would like to bring up concerning the disaster?
But during the meeting, Finelson wouldn't take our question.
I'm not going to take any questions from you, Channel 12, at this point. I'm tired of the questions that you keep posing to us.
But of course, Channel 12 isn't the only person or medium posing these questions right now. Members of the mobile home park that survived, as well as family members of those who didn't from the mobile home park, have been asking these same questions as well. As a matter of fact, a daughter of one of the victims last night asked me, if you were out walking, you weren't watching radio, or you weren't watching television or listening to the radio, you saw a police car go by with a siren sounding, would you automatically assume that a tornado was coming if the nearby civil defense system was not working? At the time, I told her no. Sue, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Bob Keeling, live from Andover. Raj.
There is some good news to report out of Andover tonight. A congregation whose church was wiped out by the tornado now has a new place to worship. You may remember we did a story about the church and its plight on Sunday and reported that the minister seen here touring the damage was looking for a place to temporarily hold Mass. The latest is that beginning this Sunday, Mass will be held at the Andover High School auditorium. Services will be at 9 and 11 in the morning.
There is plenty of other tornado-related news to bring you. In this half hour, we'll update you on the utility situation involving the storm-ravaged areas. Then at 10:30, Eyewitness News will begin a full 30 minutes of tornado coverage. This will include stories on the affected areas south and southeast of Wichita. Also, an incredibly dramatic account of one woman who considers herself very lucky to be alive. Another reminder, we will be airing a 2-hour special this Saturday night on the tornado. Copies will be available for you to buy, with proceeds going to charity. Be sure to watch us throughout the next week for more on this. But now, on to other news of the day. Wichita police tonight confirmed that 2 murders of elderly Wichita women 4 years apart are connected cases. Police Lieutenant Don Decker says the February 1991 slaying of Isabel Moore and the February 1987 murder of Ernestine Hoist are believed to have been committed by the same 2 suspects. Police sources say the 2 men currently in custody for other crimes knew the victims. The 2 cases were linked together using DNA evidence. The investigation continues. No word yet on possible charges.
And we do have one important national story to tell you about tonight. The Federal Reserve has cut 2 key interest rates. This is expected to push down the rates banks charge on consumer and interest loans. Already, the Southwest Bank of St. Louis late this afternoon said it will cut its prime rate a quarter point to 8.75%. It's usually one of the first banks to reduce its prime rate.
More ahead on the Nightcast, including Merril with our weather outlook.
And on Health Matters, an important news that could help determine if your children will be victims of an incurable disease.
In America, the innocent are protected. We're free from terrifying random searches of our homes. Our Bill of Rights guarantees us a fair trial by a jury of our peers. And the loss of our most precious right, liberty, is carefully guarded. Rediscover the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and celebrate 200 years of personal freedoms. The Bill of Rights, your rights.
Brought to you by the Kansas Bar Association.
This is your engine. Give me the good stuff.
Good stuff.
You want quick starts?
Quick start.
Smooth idle, great acceleration?
Acceleration.
Then give me the good stuff.
Good stuff.
Listen to your engine. Pure Amoco Ultimate is the gasoline drivers rate the highest quality. You give me quality, I give you performance. Your car knows. Oh, and a hot wax and a wash.
Don't push it.
Oh, you...
Stock price is up more than 10 points today at 2887.87. The volume 206 million shares. You can get more from the Channel 12 City Line stock quote hotline at 436-1200, category 9910.
Welcome to Hardee's Math. 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. Yes, right now at Hardee's, 3 regular hamburgers equal $1. 6 burgers equal $2. 9 burgers $3. And 12 burgers equal only $4. But 12 is the limit, so let's review. At Hardee's, 1 + 1 + 1 = +1. But only for a limited time, so don't be tardy. Class, no running in the halls.
Attention State Farm policyholders. In an effort to help speed settlement of your claims caused by the April 26th storm, call your State Farm agent now. If your home is damaged, a member of the State Farm Special Disaster Team will contact you. If your car is damaged, call our claim hotline at 689-4569. That's 689-4569. Remember, contact your State Farm agent immediately. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Fragile X syndrome is the leading inherited cause of mental retardation. This chromosomal disorder affects about 1 out of every 2,000 males and 1 of every 1,000 females. Health Matters reporter Tracy West joins us now with more. Tracy?
Well, Roger, no one knows what causes it, but there is a test to diagnose the problem and to identify carriers of the Fragile X chromosome.
Activity has slowed down as he's grown older.
Oh, definitely.
Sherry and Paul Burke are the parents of 2 sons, Michael and Christopher. Both boys have Fragile X syndrome.
It is an inherited condition which causes severe mental retardation in males, and in females, sometimes a milder degree of retardation or just learning disabilities.
These boys are mentally retarded and attend special schools. Fragile X can also cause physical problems like large ears, a long face, and a prominent jaw. It's hard to spot physical problems with Michael and Christopher, but a genetic blood test a few years ago indicated the boys have the chromosomal disorder.
It was hard. It was very hard. It took us about 2 years to get used to the fact that we had two sons that are being diagnosed with Fragile X. We also have a daughter who is a carrier.
Females are more often the carrier of the defective Fragile X chromosome. Both fathers and mothers who are carriers can pass the chromosome to their daughters, but only mothers can pass the chromosome to their sons.
I am the carrier, yes, but I did not have the control. I did not know. My mother before me didn't know. So it wasn't like I knew and I was hiding a secret.
Women who do know that Fragile X is in their family or who have a family history of mental retardation may want to be tested. That way they can find out if they are carriers before having children. It's the same test used to diagnose a patient with symptoms of Fragile X.
You take the blood, put it in culture, and see if the X chromosome is fragile. That is, a small piece of the X chromosome breaks off when you look at it under the microscope.
This view through a microscope shows the Fragile X site on the X chromosome. Although the problem can be detected, there is no cure. The reality of the disorder can tear a family apart, but for the Burks, it meant pulling together.
And so our main concern was our children, and I guess that's what kept us together.
We're a team. We have to be a team to get through this.
The Burks and many other families affected by Fragile X syndrome draw emotional strength from support groups. If you are interested in finding a doctor who does genetic counseling, you can call the Alliance of Genetic Support Groups at 1-800-336-4363. And Roger, tonight at 10:30, we're going to have an update on victims.
All right, thank you, Tracy.
You know, the tornado and the destruction it has caused has been stressful on a lot of us, the victims, the people helping the victims, and the list goes on. But it's tough, too, on the utility workers who are working round the clock to get your power back on. Linda Hammond has their story.
We're ready to start coming up.
Kansas Gas and Electric crews still hard at work, replacing lines and poles. In this area, 55th Street South and Hydraulic, 1/2 mile of line and 8 poles were wiped out. Crews working long shifts to get the work done. A total of 600 poles and 20 miles of line were knocked out in the storm. 65,000 people were left without power, but by later tonight, most of them will have the power back on.
You'll see here, outlined in green, the path of the tornado.
At KG&E headquarters in downtown Wichita, a crisis center is set up. Whenever there's a storm with power outages, managers organize the repair work here. With 65,000 people without power, officials call this one of the worst storms ever.
I'd say it ranks among the top 5 storms that I can recall in 37 years with the company. Last year's, of course, the inland hurricane that we had was by far the greatest damage, but this one was right up there.
By later tonight, only a few hundred people will still be without power, and officials say those too will be restored soon. In fact, for all involved, the sooner the better. Linda Hammond, Eyewitness News, Wichita.
We'll have more on the utility situation in a live report in the second half hour of our expanded newscast.
And more on the weather situation we can expect in the future, not the past right now.
We've got a day or two where things are going to be settled down, and then Mother Nature will probably flare up again over Kansas. We'll tell you just when to expect it coming up next.
Well, they got chicken at Taco Bell. A little bit is brand new. 5 kinds of chicken at Taco Bell. Which one will I choose? Chicken soft taco, chicken burrito, chicken Mexican. I love them chicken. Chicken toast starter, chicken taco too. Did you mention they're brand new? Woo! I love those chickens, and I don't mean to preach, but what are we doing here when you start at 79 cents each? Let's run for the border.
I'm Levon Pern of the Carpet Centers, and this is my dog, Ruggles. If you want to finance some great carpet, but you've got some concerns about interest, we've got those concerns licked. Come take advantage of our sale prices now, and don't worry about coming up with a scratch for any interest for 12 months. Find beautiful guaranteed carpet at a great low price you'll like, and when you qualify, the Carpet Centers will pay your interest for 1 long year. Ruggles, I said year, not ear.
At the grain elevators today, cash wheat's up 4 at $2.55. Milo, $3.80, which is unchanged. Soybeans unchanged at $5.64. And cash corn price today at $2.40, the same as Monday.
How do you tell the winning pitcher he's been traded? Sure, there'll be another team, more friends, but how do you tell him? Jones Storage and Moving can help because they understand. Jones will help take the load off your mind as well as off your hands. Jones Storage and Moving, under Movers in the Yellow Pages, a United Van Lines agent that understands all your moving needs.
When the produce is as fresh as the day it was picked, and the meat is trimmed and packaged exactly the way you like it. When the aisles are spotless, and the shelves are stocked full to the front. When the cans and jars are packed on the bottom of the bag, and the eggs and bread are put on top, it's because these people care. At Dillon's, pride in the job is more than a policy. It's a tradition.
Well, we have had a few scattered showers over Kansas today, but all in all, things stayed pretty quiet. A couple of thunderstorms this evening in the southeastern part of the state, but that's all pretty much gone as of this hour. In fact, here in Wichita, our skies have cleared out. Still at 51 degrees on the coolish side, 71% humidity, north winds at 16. Those will be dying back the rest of the night, and the pressure is rising at 30.05 inches. Let's take you back 24 hours on the cloudscape picture. You can see a band of some scattered clouds that was over the state this time last night. Those clouds continued on eastward. More came in behind that, and more developed right over central Kansas. Then watch, there it is, the line of thunderstorms that developed late this afternoon in northeastern Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas, pushed on to the east now. Still a few thunder showers in northern Missouri and some bigger thunderstorms back down into the Gulf of Mexico, but things look like they're going to stay pretty quiet around here. And you can see how those showers and a few thunderstorms mixed in there have moved across eastern Kansas throughout the evening hours. But things have settled back down now. There's a couple of little showers that redeveloped just to the southeast of Topeka in the last hour, but very, very light activity up there. Temperatures right now are in the 40s and the 50s around Kansas, and those winds, as I said, are beginning to back off. In fact, in the western sections of the state, they're already under 10 miles per hour and starting to show a little more variable direction. So what that's actually going to mean is, with skies having cleared out now and the winds light, it means we're in for a very chilly night over the state. There's the cloud mass that's moved through our state today. You can see a little brighter white top up there in northeastern Missouri, little thunderstorm that's left up there. Look at the big swirl in the clouds up toward the Great Lakes and the upper Mississippi Valley into Canada's potent system up through that area. And here's the next storm system sitting along the Pacific coast. It's going to take about 2 days or so for it to get to our area. Meanwhile, from the northern Gulf and then into the southeast and out through the Atlantic, lots of showers and thunderstorms along with that cold front moving through the eastern states. Out ahead of it, they got warm in Atlantic City, set a record today with 81 degrees. You thought I was going to say the dice are hot or something. No, I wouldn't do that. There's some wintertime left up in Minnesota with a little bit of snow this evening. Well, that snow will push up into Canada tomorrow, but the storm out west will bring some rain and snow in the higher elevations. We ought to see sunny skies here in Kansas. Well, today in Wichita, a high of 65. The morning low is 43. And although we had the clouds, we never got any of the rain. So for the month of April, we're going to end up almost normal, but about 2 1/4 inches below still for the year. Below freezing tonight for the Goodland area. Clear skies with just those few lingering clouds until about midnight in the east. Otherwise, lows in the 30s to lower 40s, and highs tomorrow should be in the 70s statewide with lots and lots of sunshine and not too much wind for Wichita and Hutchinson. Clear the rest of the night down to 40 degrees. You'll need a coat when you head out the door tomorrow morning with those light winds, and they'll stay light tomorrow with sunny skies. We look for it to get back up to at least 70 degrees. Maybe we'll even be able to sneak out a couple more than that. We should get more than that Thursday and Friday, but we'll also have chances for thunderstorms late in the day Thursday and again on Friday, with the weekend being cooler once again.
We don't need any severe weather, that's for
We
darn
don't
sure.
need it this time of the year, though. We almost have to expect it with those systems coming through.
Okay, thanks, Merril.
More action tonight for the top-rated shocks. Bruce has the highlights next.
Look around America, tell me what is there on the ground, America. Seems like everywhere, every day we throw away a little of ourselves. It's time to care, pitch in and share. You know we can help. Recycle America, don't just throw it all away.
Not only does the Anderson French wood patio door add beauty to a room, no other French-style patio door is more weather-tight. In fact, there may be only one way air and moisture can get through it. Get the book that's filled with Anderson window and patio door ideas.
Available at Andale Lumber, Cash and Carry Lumber, Boster Lumber Company, and Associated Building Material.
Here are some facts about the 1991 Toyota Camry that should be music to your ears. The Toyota Camry is the most trouble-free compact car for the third year in a row. Camry is Family Circle Magazine's Car of the Year for 2 straight years. Camry was voted a best overall value and, as reported in USA Today, has great resale. Plus, right now, you could save hundreds on Camry. Don't miss these savings. Now's the time to make a great deal. See your Toyota dealer and drive home in a masterpiece. Toyota.
Are you tired of diets that don't give you real food? Wouldn't you rather lose weight eating foods like chicken, pasta, shrimp? With our new low-fat diet, anybody can lose weight and still eat great. Anybody.
Before I went to physicians' weight loss centers, I was a frumpy woman, and now I've become a sexy, beautiful woman again. I have lost 62 pounds and 65 inches. I feel I can take on the whole world.
We're celebrating our 12th anniversary. Pay $12 a week for 12 weeks. Call today.
No, Ricky hasn't won or hasn't beaten the record, but it might happen against his old team.
He's in the process of trying to do it right now. 0 for 1, hit a ball sharply to center field, but to no avail thus far. Of course, just 1 shy of the all-time record for stolen bases. More on that momentarily. First of all, how well the Shocks wear their top ranking. A glimpse may have been provided tonight as they matched up with KU for the 3rd time in a week. And the results were again predictable. Tommy Tilma, with the wind blowing in on a cold and blustery night, takes it all the way to the center field wall. 1-run trots home. Sharks also playing defense in front of 4,600 plus tonight. Watch Jimmy Audley come in on the crow hop, the throw, runner around third. Granted, he's carrying a refrigerator on his back, but hey, he's history anyway. Sharks go on to win at 11-3, have won 33 of the last 36, 9 straight now, 48-10 on the season. Todd Dreifert, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs tonight. In his last 5 games, this guy has driven in 16 runs. Oklahoma comes to town to try their luck tomorrow night. Well, the Seattle Mariners have been a streaky team this season. One of the reasons they've been up is defense. Ken Griffey Jr. back to the wall, back, through the wall. Makes the catch, takes the wall with them. M's win it by a score of 6-3 there in the midst of a 2-game win streak. Elsewhere, Kansas City, delayed by rain, leads Detroit in the 4th. Milwaukee in the 7th, up on Chicago. Boston rallied late to beat Minnesota up at the Metrodome 7-5. And Toronto has rallied to come from behind at Texas, leading by a score of 4-3. That game in the 6th. Dodgers' Mike Morgan in the ball game against Delino DeShields right here. Strikes him out 3 times tonight. Took a 1-hitter to him to the bottom of the 9th. When wouldn't you know it, Shields, again the batter, this time takes it deep. Only the 2nd hit of the game given up by Morgan, but it ends up being the game winner. Dennis Martinez throws the 4-hit shutout. Catch of the night, Chris Caminiti. Down the 3rd base line to the dugout, leaning, yes, he makes the play, robbing Jerome Walton. Houston, however, that's their only good play of the night. They lose to Chicago by the score of 10-3. There's that Dodger-Montreal score. Montreal actually wins it, reverse those scores 1-0. Philadelphia in the 9th about to beat San Francisco. They're in the midst of a rain delay in New York. Dwight Gooden trying to hold on for the win. St. Louis and Atlanta tied in the 7th. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh tonight on Mariano Dunco's solo shot in the 6th to win it. And the Wranglers have lost 3 of 4 down in El Paso, 7-1 the final totals tonight. 4 clubs had their brooms poised tonight, looking for the sweep to give them a little rest between the 1st and 2nd rounds of the NBA playoffs. Thus far, 3 teams have done it. We start with Michael Jordan. Yes, to the hoop. 15 of his 30 points in the third quarter. Bulls end up going on to win this one easily. Jordan was spectacular. Chicago moves to the next round, winners of 3 in a row. Charles Barkley, meanwhile, knee brace and all, continues to be the story for the Sixers. He pounds down 31 points. They just dominated Milwaukee, winning tonight by 21 points as they complete a shocking 3-0 sweep. Lakers, this ball game tremendous. Tied in the waning seconds down at the Summit. Byron Scott from the corner, yes, it's money, all net. Now, the big play of the night, Hakeem Olajuwon trying to get the ball in from the side court. Folks, you only got 5 seconds to do it. He doesn't do it. Lakers go on and win it, 94-90 on that play. Can you believe it? And finally tonight, Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons were down by 13 because of shots like that from Kevin Willis. But Isaiah gets back on it. He ended up having 19 points. Joe Dumars had 30 in the ball game as Detroit takes a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series against the Hawks by the score you see there, 103-91. One other to pass along. Seattle at the half, leading Portland 54-45. Phoenix and Utah getting underway in just a moment.
Okay, all kinds of stuff. Thanks for that.
It's awards time for some. Lucky winners when the Nightcast returns. Stay here.
Have you ever wondered how a professional painter can always get such great results? Because no matter what the job, he'll always start off in the exact same place. At a Sherwin-Williams store, there's only one paint that's good, and there's only one place you can get it. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Grandy's never scrimps on dinners like our famous country fried steak, 6-piece chicken nuggets, and 2-piece chicken dinner. We thought you wouldn't mind if we scrimped on one little thing, the price.
Grandy's cooks.
Choose any of these 3 dinners, now only $2.99 at Grandy's.
Zip. Zero. Zilch. Pay nothing for 6 months. Look at this beautiful country-style table featuring oak top with oak arrow back side chairs, only $5.29. Or if the nostalgic look is for you, choose these old-fashioned style chairs. Notice the quality workmanship in these chairs. Table and 4 side chairs, $5.79. Come to Cherry Orchard Furniture, where quality always exceeds price.
I'm home, Grandma.
Just when you think you don't need a doctor. Call 688-7001.
When you're looking for new carpet, Star Lumber and Supply asks you, what do you want? The right color? The right texture? The right carpet? You want it at the right price. Star's buying power. Over 50 full semi-trailer loads of carpet and pad each year. Why do more Kansans buy their carpet at Star? The right carpet. The right price.
Star has it all. Star Lumber and Supply.
Beautiful day tomorrow.
It is. Kind of chilly tonight. First thing in the morning, down around 40 degrees. You might even think about some gloves for the steering wheel. But 70 for the high tomorrow. It's going to be beautiful.
Okay, thanks, Merril.
Finally tonight, several hundred Wichitans took a breath from an eventful week tonight to honor some very special people. The event was the annual Honors Night, celebrating uncommon leadership. The recipients included professional engineering consultants winning the Keeper of the Plains Award. The Uncommon Citizen Award went to Jack DeBoer, and the Over the Years Awards went to Southwest Paper Company, DeVore Enterprises, and Music Theater of Wichita. So congratulations to all those folks on a job or jobs. Well done.
I think we needed that tonight.
That's you bet.
Okay, stay tuned to Channel 12, where we will air a special report for the second night on the last week's tornadoes.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.